So, my 2022 was epic. I stayed on my routines, I had some adventures, ate the most delicious food, had the sweetest trips, saw the most prettiest views, nights and even days. I was really happy in all aspects of my life, I could say, and it was just a good year. 2022 was really good to me. Now, let's move on to 2023 strong, y'all.
Another day, another video. So up to this point, you guys already seen what my aspirations were for 2022 and actually kind of what my 2022 did look like. So if y'all remember last year, this video, 2021 was rough for me. It wasn't my best year. I called it my worst year ever, and I stand by that statement because it was horrible. But 2022, I wanted to work on a lot, and I actually did. And I was able to do a lot of things in 2022. Surprisingly, a lot of the stuff came upon me in an unexpected manner, but nonetheless, it occurred. So that's what we wanted. But for this 2023, I do have things that I want to improve upon, or things I definitely want to work on, or just things I just want to switch up. So that's what this video is about. Now, I don't want to mention all the things that we could be doing that's already probably been mentioned. So things like cleaning out your wardrobe, or for people who wear makeup, cleaning up their brushes or their makeups, just trying to start a new, setting yourself up for a fresh start in 2023, or the resolutions like working out. And although all those are valid, I have already implemented a lot of those things into my lifestyle. So I want to reach a little deeper into it in this video. But before we start, don't forget to like and actually comment if you guys have any goals you want to set for 2023, or anything you want to work on, or stuff in 2022 has taught you, because y'all, it's been a rough year still. Like COVID, she played us. So if there's anything you want to add to that, leave it down below. But without further ado, let's get started. So I only have a couple things this year, because a lot of the things I want to bring in from last year to this year that I haven't worked on, that I want to be able to implement this year into my lifestyle. I'm already pretty consistent in the habits that I tried to form from 2022 that I'm bringing into 2023. So there's not a lot of habits that I want to work on, but there are things I definitely want to work on myself, on an emotional level. So the first one I want to talk about is taking the first step instead of expecting the first step to be taken for me. A lot of times when I'm in any relationship or friends or family, I expect them to reach out to me first, or to plan things with me, because I'm not the best planner, but that's not an excuse to not reach out to them. And I think that I'm always worried that what they're gonna say isn't gonna be something I wanna hear, so I never reach out first, which is 100% on me. But I feel like that's made relationships that shouldn't have been as distant for that reason. So in this 2023, I definitely want to work on that. I want to reach out first to people I care about and want to spend time with, because once I reach out my hand, I know I'll be able to spend more time with them if scheduling does work, because y'all, it's hard to schedule nowadays. So for the second part, it's to do stuff out of my comfort zone. So there's different levels to this. The obvious one, for me at least, is to do things alone. I don't like doing things alone, one, for safety, two, because if I'm comfortable within something, I tend to do better. So I never try to go out of my comfort zone. So even when I'm trying new things, I don't tend to deviate far off of what I already know. And I feel like that does close me off to experiencing new things. So in this 2023, I want to do that. And ways I'm trying to implement that is by planning things alone. So like taking myself on like a little date, or maybe going like to do an activity alone. Like it's winter right now, so like skating for sure is something I want to do. Even like small stuff like going out on a walk, or for me, through my fitness, I'm not comfortable completely trying different equipments because I'm worried about how silly I'll look, and that's so childish for how far I am in my like gym fitness journey, but it's something that I'm still worried about and I'm always in my head about. So I definitely want to work on those. So that's what I mean when I say step out my comfort zone. And I think that can be applied for a lot of us because I think that we tend to do things within our comfort zone a lot of times, even if we're not completely aware about it. Because I wasn't aware that I did this until someone actually pointed it out to me, and I was like, oh, I actually do that with a lot of other things. So, yeah, let's try something new, y'all, this year. You don't know, it might be the best thing you've ever done. So the next thing is something that I struggle with the most, and it might sound really silly. It's waking up in the morning. Now, I am not a morning person. I am a night owl through and through. I've always been a night owl. I think I will always stay a night owl, but I do want to get used to waking up in the morning earlier than I already do. And even though school does force me to wake up in the morning with morning classes and whatnot, I really don't want to feel miserable every day about my life having to wake up that early. It's not a good look, so I want to be a little happier when I wake up, and that's the goal I have in mind. So ways I want to implement this is definitely trying to make a set morning routine that I wake up, I know what I'm doing. I'm not all over the place, I'm not confused, or I'll have things already prepped from the night before, so maybe my workout outfit for the day that I'm going to bring with me, maybe some of the snacks that I'll be taking, or even like prep the food that I'm gonna take with me the night before and then leave it in the fridge and then just have it ready for class. These are some examples because I am a uni student and I go to campus for classes, so that's what I mean when I say prep, because I want to make the morning as easy as it is for me, because the easier I'm able to make it for myself, the easier the whole routine will be on me, because it's already hard enough to wake up. So if my routine is at least a little bit easier for me to work with, I'm hoping it'll make me more happier or less depressed leaving the house when it's still dark outside, because it's winter and that's a thing here. So yeah. The next thing is something I struggled with in 2022 and 2021 and honestly every other year, and that's consistency, specifically consistency with my passions. Now, I have been able to get down consistency with my gym, my fitness, because that's something I really enjoy, but I haven't been able to be consistent in things like my arts and crafts that I like doing or reading. I am really struggling in those areas. One, because I feel like I don't have any time, but I think that's just me making an excuse to not make any time, because I can be on my phone for hours, but I can't make time to do a small little craft or a small little like writing out something, because I also like to do poetry and whatnot. But I definitely want to, in this 2023 year, especially knowing already how hectic my winter schedule is gonna be, I definitely want to make time in this area, because it'll be the thing that helps me out the most to prevent burnout. And I'm already aware of it, so I'm just trying to prep myself to be in the best position possible for when it does occur. So yeah, that one is kind of like, because it's so easy to be like, oh, like I'm gonna do it, and then like when you actually have to set out time, you have to like put out all the stuff. But like instead of just sitting down on your phone and just like scrolling, making that time, making that intentional time for yourself could be more beneficial, at least for me, because this year I've already done the whole scrolling and it's not as beneficial as me investing time in the arts that I like to do, in the drawing, painting, just all the mediums that I like to play with. I would rather invest my time in that, because I know afterwards I feel so much more fulfilled than if I were to be on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, because I don't really feel as fulfilled afterwards. That's not to mean there's anything wrong with doing that. It's just I know for me, and this year with the amount of time that I've spent on my phone just doing those things, it hasn't fulfilled me as much as doing a craft or doing something that I'm passionate about. So I definitely like to invest in that. And the biggest thing is making videos. I want to invest more time into making videos. It's definitely harder to set up, to plan, to edit and whatnot, but it is much more fulfilling, the end product, and going through that process. Even making the thumbnail, I still find so much joy from. So this is definitely one of the bigger passions that I want to work on this year, and I want to be consistent on my channel. I know I have been so bad, but you guys, I promise you, I already have 3 videos prepped and ready, and I definitely, in this new year, I want to be putting up videos by the week. Still, bear with me, y'all. So the next thing is something that has to do more with my academics, and that is to study smarter and not harder. I always thought that the amount of time I put into studying will translate to how well I will do. And in this new year and going into this new field, I have noticed that that is not entirely true. Finding a study routine that works for you is going to be what will help you in your successes in your studies. For me, that's the blurting method. It's a new method that's been introduced on TikTok, but it's a method that a lot of people have been using to study for probably since their childhood. This method is whether you're verbally going over the material and not looking at the material and just trying to, from the top of your head, just say all the material that you can recall, and then afterwards looking at your actual material and then seeing what you missed, study that, and then repeat. You can do this through the verbal method, so speaking or writing it down. I prefer speaking because I'm really slow writing down. So that's the blurting method. Another thing is studying in intervals. So although we can get really lost in studying, or you can, if you have problems paying attention for long periods of time, I actually have this issue, studying for a long period of time will actually not be beneficial for you because you'll get distracted easier as time goes on. So instead, cut up that time, take small breaks, so like 30-minute to 10-minute, so 30-minute being studying, 10-minute be your break time, and then going back and forth. Or if you don't do well with those intervals being so consistent, maybe like spread it out, so like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, just to mix it up, and just so your body isn't feeling so tired and like in one position for a long period of time. I think that's a big thing that's helped me, and that's definitely something I want to work on this year, because the grades that I've gotten, they're not bad, they're actually good grades, but I don't feel like I've learned as much as I could have, even though I've studied probably longer than I have in any other term. Make it make sense. So the last one is something that's pretty big for me, and that's actually self-care. I already have a self-care routine implemented, and that's really just my workouts. I find that to be my biggest stress reliever, and that's something that's helped me out through this year, and probably why I'm still doing okay at the end of this year. But when it comes to like doing face masks, or for my hair, like doing hair oils, I've really neglected self-care, and the biggest reason is time. Time management has not been on my side this year. I don't know about you guys, but I've been horrible with time management. I feel like I've been all over the place, and how I've allotted time has kind of reflected that. So I haven't been putting time in myself. Even working out has been really hard for me this year, and that's not because I didn't want to work out, it's just I didn't have time to work out. So I definitely want to work on time management this year. Even when it comes to, if we just take out workout, because I'm pretty consistent in that already, other things like the common self-care routines people do, I don't really do that. The most I do is wash my face, brush my teeth, moisturize on them, and call it a day. I don't really do like hair oils, and I really should, because not only is it good for my body and my hair, it also makes me feel good. It's a great confidence booster. Weirdly enough, when I finish like a face mask and like your face is so clear, or it's like dewy from like the moisturized face mask you did, I feel like that's kind of a confidence booster in itself, because you're seeing yourself in a different light. So I feel like self-care can not only be very relaxing, it can also be very like motivating because if you look good, you'll feel good. And I believe in that. It doesn't have to be, that concept will look different to every person. So for me, feeling good and looking good is me getting that dopamine rush for my workouts, me after a skincare routine, my hair being, my face being all like dewy and soft, or even like starting to see it clear up from repeatedly doing self-care routines, or my hair becoming more shiny or even more curly from doing those hair care routines that I don't do now and I probably should. So that is the things I want to work on this year. I know this list is definitely shorter, but I do want to add that a lot of things that I've talked about in this 2021 video is stuff I'm going to be bringing into my 2023 year, because even though I am much happier compared to my 2021, I feel like there's still a lot of stuff I could work on to make myself even more happier and even more fulfilled in this new year. So I hope your guys' new year also is great. I hope you guys have an amazing new year, and I hope 2023 is as good to you as it can be, and I hope all the things you hope for in this new year comes true, because we're gonna grow together. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys want to see more of me, I am more active on my socials, of course. Definitely now it's TikTok compared to Instagram, so hit me up on there if y'all want to see more of me. And yeah, I'll see y'all next video. Bye. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Huh.
Babe, wanna leave this town. I'm saying